So this is the software we are going to use. If you see this is OpenProj, not Open Project, right? And uh, this is a project management tool that we can use to manage a project. You know, when you are to manage a project, what you are usually doing is you have to plan your project, you have to organize the project, and you will have to manage the resources available, right? So all those things could be done using this software. You will have to simply download that and do the activities according, right? And when you download and open down after downloading, installing, and opening the software, you will have this kind of a screen, and you can simply click create new project, or else you can close, and here you have a new option, right? You can create a new project, right? And when you create new project, first of all, you will have to give a project name. We know that for each and every project, we have a name. So you can give any project you like, right? Your project names will not look like this as you as project managers, as the students who are going to become project managers. You know what kind of name should be there, right? So this is not an appropriate name, but I have just given a name, right? And then here you can give a name to the manager, right? Who's the project manager? You can give any name for the project manager. So this will be the name of the actual project manager. Okay. And starting date, here, this is the date we are going to start our project. And here it is usually forward scheduled, right? We know that usually what we do is when we start a project, we can start with this forward scheduled option. That means we are going to continue project from today onwards, right? So starting date today, or future date will be there. What will happen when we use this option is or the rest of the days, the project schedule will be calculated automatically uh, today onwards, right? Today or the starting date onwards. That's what is going to happen there. And you can write any notes. Write something. This is the notes section. You can write anything you want regarding the project. Once you click OK, you have this interface, right? I'll call this a view, right? This is, here we have a Gantt chart, right? Here in this section, you can see something like a spreadsheet, and here you can see a diagram section. So altogether here you have a Gantt chart, and you can change these view options using these sections, these options. Here you can see number of options are there, right? I haven't done anything, that's why you can't see details of that, right? We'll come into those areas later. And today what we are going to do is, today we are going to create project tasks and see how it looks like, right? That's the first task we are going to do today. So in this spreadsheet section, you can give a set of tasks, right? The first thing I want to mention is when you have a project, you have number of tasks to do within the project, right? So you can divide those tasks into divide your project into number of tasks and give names to those tasks, right? And first I'll give a name as task 1, right? So don't mention like this when you're really implementing the project, right? Because this is just a name that I have mentioned. But for a real project, you will have a good name rather than just using task 1, task 2, and task 3, right? But now I'm using like this. But for your real projects, you will have good names other than this. So use those good names without using this kind of a names, right? So task name is task 1, and you can mention the duration. I can drag this here, and you will see some more options are given there. And for this duration is usually mentioned in days, right? Here it says 1 day. I'll mention 14. And look at this, what I'm going to do now. I'm going to type D here, right? When I put D, it says 14 days. And again, I'm going to change that. I'm going to write week, right? That means 70 days, like that, right? I change, and I can type, let me say 14 hours. If I say 14 hours, that means 1.75 days, right? So you can use either D for days, W for weeks, and H for hours, right? So whenever, even though you have used D or W or H, at the end, the result will be displayed in days, right? So this will be displayed in days. So I'm going to mention that 4 days are allocated for task 1, and start time is given here. You can change that, and finish time is given here. Again, you can change that as well. And for the second task, I'm going to use task 2. And again, I can allocate set of days, 7D, let's say 7D, and start and finish time is there. And task 3, again I'm going to assign 7 days, right? And when you see that, what you have in this side is, if you look at this side, all 3 tasks are listed here, right? You can see these tasks in this side as well, but no links in between, right? The things we can identify from these is task 1 and task 2, task 3 are the tasks we have for this project, and task 1 will last for 14 days, and task 2 will last for 7 days, and again task 3 also will last for 7 days, right? But we know that when we have tasks, we usually have an order that how the task should be carried out, right? After which task should do after which task, like that, right? So here you can see predecessors are there. That means you can mention which task should happen after, right? For an example, if I mention 1 here, that means this task 2 will happen after task 1, right? And at the same time, look at this right hand side as well. When I insert 2 here, what will happen? That comes after task 2, right? So this 1 means task 2 will happen after task 1, and task 3 means this predecessor 2 means task 3 will happen after task 2. That's the order these tasks are going to happen, right? And you can see more options when you click on this. Once you click on that arrow, you can have more details about these task dependencies. When you look at this dialog box, task dependency box, here you see this dependency happens from task 1 to task 2, right? And you can remove these dependencies or change the type, or you can, if you have any days to be left, right? Those things can be mentioned here. And again, you know that we have more options regarding task dependencies, FS, FF, SF, SS. Can someone mention in the even in the chat what these are? Yes, finish to finish, finish to start, start to finish, and start to start, right? Okay, I think you know the meanings as well. If you don't remember the meanings, just look at the right hand side first and then look at the first, left hand side next, right? For an example. And another thing I want to mention is dependencies are there from one task to another, right? Assume that you have two tasks. One is named as A and the other is B, right? And one comes this left hand side and another comes to this right hand side. Assume that task A is in this left hand side and task B is in this right hand side. That means A, F, S, B, right? So A, F, S, B mean A, finish to start B. So how we read is we start from the right hand side. So you will have to state like this: B does not start before A finishes, like that. If it is FS, what it means is B does not start before A finishes. And if it is FF, how we read that is B does not finish before A finishes. And if it is SF, how we read is B does not finish before A start. And again for the last one, how we read is B does not start before A starts, right? So that's how you are going to mention those things. Assume that you want to change this like this, right? So once you change that, see, the diagram will change, and at the same time here this predecessors will change as well, right? So you can change it accordingly, according to the way you want, and have any kind of dependencies in between, right? Okay, so that is the first task you have to do. And another thing, if assume that you have number of tasks are given here, so you can select the tasks, uh, press control and select these things, and if you click link all these together, let's remove the links now, right? I can remove the links, and if you want to add the links accordingly, then you can press this link here again. You can see all those links in this side, right? So how you do is you can select all these things together by clicking control button on your keyboard, and then you can modify this by unlinking or linking back. And again, another thing, you can link this using like this. You can use your mouse. Okay, I'm going to remove this link. You can link two of these things by using your mouse, and then you can click and drag to the place where you want, right? Then again, you can link your tasks together, right? So you have number of options to link your task. You can use these predecessors here, and you can modify those with help of task dependency dialog box, as well as you can drag and drop the dependency in between, right? So that is the part I'm going to give you today to practice, right? So hereafter we are going to move on to the critical path analysis and WBS and all those stuff week by week.